No knife cut your flesh. No scissors tore off your power. And yet, you feel, even without knowing how to name, that there is something in you that has been silenced, weakened, dormant. The castration of modern man does not bleed on the outside, but rots inside. It happens behind the scenes of the soul, shaped in silence, through a system that teaches you to doubt your instinct, to reject your strength, and to fear your essence. It is a vibrational, emotional, and mental castration, an invisible architecture where everything that is genuinely male is slowly transformed into guilt, exaggeration, or threat. Since childhood, you are conditioned to contain the scream that wants to echo inside your chest. And this is no coincidence. Society does not fight male instinct with swords, but with indoctrination. The boy teaches how to deny the creator chaos, the legitimate desire to lead, conquer, protect. It teaches that instinct is savagery, that ambition is oppression, what strength is violence. Thus, man becomes a domesticated shadow, trained to suppress his own fire. Bombing is constant, pornography, masturbation, easy dopamine. Immediate pleasure becomes an invisible collar that holds the man's soul to the ground. You do not see, but with each discharge, your vital energy fades. And with it, your desire to create, fight, transform. The enjoyment became handcuff. Do you feel you have something blocking your energy? Wake up tired. Do you look anxious, lost focus, strength, fire? You try to be productive, try to find yourself, but deep down you know there is something wrong, something no one has taught you to face. My name is Laert, and after years plunged into science, spirituality, and psychology of male energy, I discovered a brutal truth. Modern man was castrated by immediate pleasure, and the key to freeing himself is seminal retention. Retention is not abstinence, it is rebirth. It is to reconnect with its divine origin, to recover control of your body, your mind, your mission. Here at Gods of Semen, you will find out how this millennial practice can unlock your true testosterone, increase your energy, restore your focus, and return your spiritual power. It is not about religion. It's about awakening. If you are tired of living as a servant, you feel that you were born for something bigger, but you are stagnant. This channel is your call. Stay with me until the end of this video because I will reveal you secrets that no one has the courage to expose. Truths that will move your identity and open doors to the man you always knew it could be. Enjoy now and subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell and enters this brotherhood of men in reconstruction. Here, each video is a weapon against conditioning. Here, the revolution begins in your body. And the time to wake up, it's now. Disguised of emotional balance, the feminization of man is sold as spiritual evolution. But what she hides is the annulment of the deep masculine, the one who knows how to silence without being submissive, who imposes presence without screaming, who feels without becoming fragile. Today, man no longer recognizes himself in his own body. It has lost sensitivity to its seminal energy, its axis, its inner territory. The illusion of sexual freedom holds you in a cycle where the more you freed up, the more you empty yourself. Pleasure became dependence, and dependence became identity. In the media, the ideal man is docile, funny, complacent, and absolutely harmless. A sociable doll with filtered testosterone, a hero-looking servant, the figure of the indomitable man was erased. There is no room for sacred fury. There is no room for subtle ambition. The will to dominate the world, what moves the warrior soul, has been exchanged for hobbies, addictions, and distractions. Where there was roar, today there is silence. But not a deep, meditative silence. It is a silence of suffocated soul, of spirit that gave up screaming. And the most cruel of this invisible castration is that it leaves no scars. It makes you invisible to the world without you realize. When your energy is no longer dangerous, the world ceases to perceive you as a man. They praise you, tolerate you, accept you, but don't respect you. And then you wonder, why do you ignore me? Why doesn't my presence weigh anymore? The answer is hard, because you are no longer dangerous. And deep down, the universe only respects the man who still carries a shadow of fire within himself. The rest is just noise. You think it's just tiredness, just another phase, just a heavy routine. But what consumes you inside is the accumulated effect of a castration that spreads throughout your existence. In sex, you still believe that power is to last a few more minutes, when in fact, it is the spiritual presence you leave in the skin of the woman, even in silence. Many men explode as fireworks, intense for a moment, empty for the rest of the week. It is not a lack of technique, it is absence of vital energy. The body responds to the command of the soul, and the soul is silent. In the physical, the muscles can grow, but without soul, do not intimidate or protect. There is a brutal difference between the trained body and the consecrated body. Many build muscles on a weak base, synthetic testosterone, external vanity, but inside, a sleeping spirit. At work, you feel that it produces, but without creating. As if your energy is being drained to maintain gears that have no soul. You repeat tasks, obey goals, but your mind screams for something that makes sense. Creativity was domesticated, its strength became a third-party tool. In relationships, romanticism became an emotional prison. You believe you are being loving, but deep down, you are asking for approval. Is addicted to being accepted. Being pleasant has become a survival tactic, and the price of this is the loss of male presence. Your look no longer hurts, no longer imposes respect, no longer tears veils. Where there was a flame, now there is a servant look, a trained look to ask for permission to exist. The mind drowned in distractions, notifications, screens, external voices. Everything helps you no longer listen to the silent call of your essence. The spirit, in turn, wanders without direction. You wake up, work, consume, and sleep, but it lives without mission, like a boat without rudder in a sea of tasks. The absence of purpose is the greatest pain of the male soul, and this is reflected even in speech. Your voice no longer carries magnetism. Your speech does not command, just convinces at most. You talk to please, to be accepted, to avoid conflict. But the man who does not impose presence is easily ignored. And then, deep down comes that void that does not disappear. The feeling that something is missing. It's not just sadness. It's not just a lack of motivation. It's the soul trying to warn you. You're alive, but it's not awake. Your body breathes, but its strength is chained. Its essence was shaped to fit in the mold of the idealized man. Calm, submissive, predictable. But there is something about you that screams for rupture, a call that does not shut up. And this call is the sign that you were made for more than repeating the castration cycle. You were made to set the world on fire. But first, you need to rekindle what was erased in you. There is no return to the belly, but there is rebirth through fire. To break spiritual castration, the first step is to silence the slavery of pleasure. There is no true initiation without abstinence. You need to break the vice in enjoyment, cut the invisible chain that holds you to the floor. Without it, everything you try to build will be ruin on sand. Instinct needs to be purified, not denied. And this purification begins in the body, specifically in the seed. Seminal energy is the original flame of man. It is from her that creation, courage, connection with the sacred is born. Reconnecting with this energy is like rekindling an inner sun, and this sun requires movement. Replace masturbation with action, training, writing, construction, symbolic combat. The energy you once played outside now needs to be channeled as a concentrated radius. Each day in retention needs to be lived as if carried the weight of an invisible sword. But it is also necessary to silence what whispers web. Toxic female voices, both external and symbolic, need to be expelled from your mind. Every figure that weakens your mission, your will, or your faith must be cut without hesitation. Are you ready to transcend the illusion and access the spiritual codes that were hidden from you? So now, meet Alchemy of the Gods, my new book that will open the doors to a deep transformation of body, mind, and soul. In it, you will understand how to awaken your Kundalini energy, activate the crystalline oil that sleeps in your pineal gland, and break the invisible shackles that still bind you to an ordinary life. This is not just a book. It is a spiritual map that unites ancient tradition with practical wisdom, leading you to real and permanent release. Available in physical, digital, and audiobook format, so you can access this sacred knowledge the way that connects the most with your lifestyle. Click the link in the description or in the fixed comment and guarantee your copy now. Choose the ideal format and start the journey that will change your vibration now and your life. But first of all, I have a novelty that you didn't expect. I just launched audiobook Semen Retention Success Path, a direct, intense, and transformer guide with more than 2 hours of deep content over the 6 pillars of seminal retention, revealing the secrets that unlock their vital energy, restore their focus, and arouse a new level of male strength and lasting personal growth. If you feel that you are wasting your energy, if your mind is dispersed, your body without fire, and your purpose erased, this is the content that will reprogram you from the inside out. What's more, when purchasing audiobook, you get 30% off the exclusive ebook, The Art of Semen Retention for Men, with 20 practical pages of advanced techniques to raise your vibration, find emotional balance, and align your energy with your soul's true purpose. Visit the link in the description and the comment fixed. Listen now, become forever. And if you want to take a step further, become a member of the channel and enter our spiritual brotherhood. Members receive early access to content, priority responses in the comments, as well as exclusive benefits that are not available to the general public. Your participation helps keep this channel alive, free, and committed to bringing the truth that awakens, heals, and transforms. Click Be a Member right now and be part of something bigger. Awakening is real, and it starts with a choice. The presence begins with the look, and the look needs to be relearned. Stop looking like whoever asks. Look like who hurts the invisible. Your presence should be sword, your word, hammer, your silence, altar. The emptiness that once scared you will now be cultivated as strength. The true man lives in deep silence and builds his fortress there. To meditate is to excavate the temple of the soul until you find the vertical axis. The castrated man lives bent. The warrior lives erect in the spirit. Therefore, assume the vote of reconstruction. Make your body the temple where the spirit again dwell. No hurry, without exposure. As sacred ritual. Each act becomes discipline. Each step becomes offering. Reconstruction requires a ritualized life. The way you wake up, how you walk, how you breathe. Everything needs to carry intention. Because the world fears the man who rebuilds himself. Fears because it is no longer manipulable. He no longer needs to please. No more competing. It only exists, and its existence hurts the invisible structures. This is the new birth. And it doesn't happen with candles or mantras. It happens in the retained blood, in the contained scream, in the transmuted pain. You no longer need to seek permission. You just need to remember who it is. And then no one else castrates you anymore, neither on the outside nor inside. At first it looks crazy, but it is not. It is the spirit returning to the body as thunder. Dreams change. They are no longer banal daydreams, but fire views, wild animals, battles, and old symbols. You dream as if you were being remembered something you knew before you were born. It is the call of the archetype in combustion, and when awakening, something in your gaze transforms. He gets firmer. No need to say anything. He crosses. He shuts rooms. He cuts veils. The world begins to react differently. Where there was a pity before, Now there is respect. Women no longer mock. They watch it with silence. They feel that there is something sacred reborn, which excited you, now disgust you. That image that once consumed you in 5 seconds now causes you contempt. You see manipulation in the eyes of the screen. He sees the trap in what was once desire, because your desire has purified itself. And when libido returns to the chest, it becomes anxiety. It becomes action. It becomes uncontrollable to get up, to do, to build, to protect. Energy begins to leak from heart to members, as if your body were now temple under reform. There are days when you get silent and realize, I'm remembering something I forgot for years. And this memory has no name. It is a spiritual memory. Time slows down. You stop running. Starts walking like who knows where you go. Desire is no longer to please the moment, but to serve the mission. You no longer want pleasure. You want purpose. And this desire is indomitable. The body hardens, but it is not arrogance. It is a foundation. The shoulders rise, the spine aligns, the floor changes. The aphial spirit, you become more selective, silent, more lethal. The world begins to look at you again, but now with fear. And this fear is sacred, because you have been dangerous again. And when a man becomes dangerous again, not for violence, but by presence, he gets out of castration and enters the warrior's lineage. And the whole world feels. But do not think that the Renaissance guarantees peace. On the contrary, this is where the true war begins. The algorithm feels when you start to break the current. Suddenly, what appears on your screens? Temptation disguised as distraction. Ancient addictions come back with absurd force. That desire to see just one more video, just one more image. But now you know, it's not will, it's a test. It is the shadows trying to reactivate the castration code. Women start to tease you like never before. Sudden apparitions, inviting looks, psychic games. But it is not desire, it is planned distraction. They feel that their energy has changed and want to test it. Friends mock your new posture. They call you radical, strange, exaggerated. But what you see in their eyes is not humor, it's fear. Fear that you prove that it is possible to be another type of man. Fear that you become the mirror that exposes their cowardice. Your own body screams for pleasure, for relief, but your soul now cries out. This is when the decision imposes itself. Either you give in or you become steel, because the entire system was designed to keep your soul soft, subservient, docile. He does not want your active strength, want your tiredness. Now is the moment you choose. Do you want to be a man or want to remain a child? Because true masculinity requires rupture, requires loneliness, requires sacrifice. Every spiritual war begins within its own body. The desire to get up against castration must be born in the flesh. And every overdue temptation is one less nail on the cross that arrested you. Only those who cross the fire, bleed in silence, and keep their eyes red by the way. There is no hero without proof. There is no presence without pain. The temptation will come stronger. But it does not come to destroy you. Come to reveal if the new you were born. And if you were born, nothing can castrate you again. Not even the world. Not even the system. Not even yourself. They do not fear the ordinary man. They do not fear the screaming man who hits his chest, who displays strength to hide the void. But they tremble before the man who awakens in silence, the man who refuses to enjoy any stimulus. That silences their own impulses until they turn them into creative fire. This man is no longer domesticable, no folding cheap promises. It is not moved by approval. It is not sold for convenience. He no longer needs the system. And that is exactly why the system panics. A man who retains his seed also retains his will. And when the will accumulates in silence, it turns into a sword. This man walks differently, speaks different, thinks differently. It bothers you. Because your presence shows that others are sleeping. It shows that there is another form of existing, purer, fiercer, more conscious. Where he passes, the weak feel naked. The manipulators are disorganized. Women respect him before they want it, and the demons, before attacking him, study him. This man is not afraid of time because he learned to dominate the internal rhythm. He moves as one carries centuries on his back, and precisely for this reason, he does not hurry. He imposes himself. Its presence is not about sympathy, it is about gravity. He does not convince with words, convinces with vibration. It is a magnetic field in flesh, and when it enters an environment, everything is reconfigured. So the world wants to hide it, ridicule it, isolate it, but it's useless. Because where there is a wake man, there is a break in the control fabric. They are afraid because they know a man who is rebuilt is an eternal threat. He can no longer be manipulated with sex, guilt, fear, money, loneliness. He saw the emptiness and survived. He bled and stood. He lost everything and yet chose the silence. This man is not a product, not a number, not a gear. He is an altar. And where there is a lit altar, darkness trembles. Because the true revolution is not collective. It begins in the body of a single man who dared to awaken. You feel that something inside you are locked, as if living with invisible breaks, while time drips and your energy dissolves into distractions that lead you nowhere. But what if this emptiness that consumes you is the sign that you are ready to be reborn? Ready to abandon the weakness cycle and recover its original strength? The time has come to decide if you will continue to live off, or will light the fire that has always existed inside you. Leave your like now, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. And if you want to go deeper, watch the next video that is appearing on the screen. It can be the missing snap for you for good.